Hello and welcome. This is Hena Talati and you are watching It's Tomorrow News. A long-dormant underwater volcano near Antarctica has woken up, triggering swarm of 85,000 earthquakes. The swarm, which began in August 2020 and subsided by the November of that year, is strongest earthquake activity ever recorded in the region. And the quake were likely caused by the finger of the hot magma poking into the crust, new research finds. There have been similar intrusions in other places of the earth, but this is the first time it is observed, a seismologist at the GFZ German Research Center for Geosciences in Potsdam told Live Science. Normally, these processes occur over geologic timescales. The swarm occurred around the Orca seamount in an inactive volcano that rises 2,950 feet from the seafloor in the Bransfield Strait, a narrow passage between the South Shetland Islands and northwestern tip of Antarctica. In this region, the Phoenix tectonic plate is diving beneath the continental Antarctic plate, creating a network of fault zones, stretching some portions of the crust and opening rifts in other places, according to 2018 study in the journal Polar Sciences. Scientists at the research stations on the King George Island, one of the South Shetland Islands, were the first to feel the rumblings of the small quakes. The team wanted to understand what was going on, but the King George Island is remote with just 2 seismic stations nearby. So the researchers used data from those seismic stations as well as data from 2 ground stations for the global satellite navigation system to measure the ground displacement. They also looked at the data from more far-flung seismic stations and from satellites circling Earth that used radar to measure shifting at ground level, the study authors reported on April 11 in the journal Communications, Earth and Environment. The nearby stations are rather simple, but they were good for detecting the tiniest quakes. More distant stations, meanwhile, use more sophisticated equipments and can thus paint a more detailed picture of the large quakes. By piecing this data together, the team was able to create a picture of the underlying geology that triggered this massive earthquake swarm. The 2 largest earthquakes in the series were the magnitude 5.9 quake in October 2020 and the magnitude 6 quake in the November. After the November quake, seismic activity waned. The quake seemed to move ground on the King George Island around 4.3 inches, the study found. Only 4% of that displacement could be directly explained by the earthquake. The scientists suspect the movement of the magma into the crust largely accounts for the dramatic shifting of the ground. If there was an underwater eruption at the seamount, it likely happened at that time. But as of yet, there is no direct evidence for an eruption to confirm that a massive sealed volcano blew its top. And so the scientists would have to send a mission to the strait to measure the bathymetry or the seafloor depth and compare it with the historical maps. That's all for now. For more news updates, stay tuned with us. It's Tomorrow News. For more global weather updates like this, subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates.